Billing and cost management. This is about taking care of the cost that you have within your Azure subscription. You can set up alerts so that you are informed about certain thresholds that you have reached or maybe close to reaching. And you can use it in a way so that you can manage your money and know what you need to do to prevent cost from going too high, as well as take care of resources that you may not be using anymore that might just be accruing additional cost over time. So, in the whole cost management, we are going to be taking the cost that all of our different resources, even across multiple subscriptions, are going to be accumulating over time. And we can set these up so that they are sent to us as an email, as an alert, so that we can see a regular budget cost. So when you go onto Azure, you can view the cost management and you can add budgets. Now, when you make these budgets, you will also include the people that are going to be informed of what's happening. And you can set it so that you just get regular notifications. Maybe 2 times a week, you get an email that tells you about what your current cost for the month is, as well as what your predicted cost is. And then you can also set alerts so that if a certain amount is reached, then something needs to be done about it. You can go to the Azure portal and be properly informed about what's going on over there. Here's my Azure subscription right here. If I go to the cost management and billing right here, then let's first take a look at the cost analysis that I have right here. So this is featured in a few different ways. Let me remove this so that it looks a bit different. So this is taking all the money for October of 2025. Now, October 2025 is not finished yet. So that's what this gray or dark greenish area means over here, is that we have the light green area, which is accumulated cost, meaning how much money I have actually spent. And then this over here is what's called the forecast, which is that it's predicting how much it's going to cost over time. So I've currently spent a little over $5, and it's predicting that at my current rate, I'm going to have reached $11 by the end of the month. We can also go down here and we can view things in different categories, and we can see what is it that's been making this money appear in my account. So I see that I've been getting a lot of money from the cognitive service and also from the Azure machine learning. Those are the 2 main things that I've been earning so much money from. So I can think about if I want to change those. I can also filter it by location over here. Most of the money has come from East US 2, but there is also some that's come from SE Central, as well as US West and US East, and then just the subscription. I can get different values right here. You can see that there are different metrics and ways that I can check this. So if there's a certain way, maybe what days I was using a lot of money, then I can look at those and gather information from all of that. An important thing that you can do with these is that you can save them, you can share them, you can subscribe them, you can download them so that you can hold on to them for later. One of the most important ones is the subscribe here. So here I have my subscribe. Now, this is something where I can take this view that I have right here. I can also make it custom, so I can have a certain budget that's going on, or I can have certain metrics that I'm using to measure the whole thing. And then I can determine about how well everything is going. So first I give it a name, and then when it sends the email out, this is what it's going to start with. And then I specify who are all the people I want it to be sent to. So this would be the time when I would send it to a certain email I mean, if I had an email at email.com, then this would be sent to that. I can list others. I can list a group of emails, a message that can be included with it if I want. I specify about when it starts and when it ends. The default is 1 year. And then I specify about how often it happens. If I don't like what they're choosing here, any of these ones that I have right here, I can pick a custom one and I can say, oh, I want on Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. at local time to be notified of this every Tuesday and Thursday. So I would get an email and it would tell me about what the cost is going on so I could see as the days progress about how much money I'm actually being spent on it so that I can be well informed of all of this. Now, another important feature is the budgets feature. So budgets mean a certain amount of money that we want to be following, and we will change something if we are trying to reach above that. So if I were going to add one over here, I would click this add, and then I'd create a budget for it. It gives me a bit of an eyeball that I can check here, since it's giving me what I spent for September, what I spent for October, and then for November, it's just guessing, oh, look at this guy spending a lot more money in October, so it's thinking I'm going to spend a lot more money in November. So it's giving me a bit of a guess here about what it thinks I should make a budget on. So I can give what the name of it would be. I can specify about how often it's going to reset. So if I did every month, then at the end of every month, it will go back to 0. I can do quarterly, so every 3 months. I can do annually, every year. I can specify how long it goes for. And then, very important, I specify the amount of money. So maybe if I never wanted to spend more than $1,000, then I could specify that here. All right, and then we go to the next one. Now, this is also very important, is that this will specify when to send an alert to somebody. So these alerts don't do anything, or these budgets don't do anything unless we inform someone about what's going on. So we need to specify about what the actual cost and what the forecasted cost is going to be. So let's say it's actual cost, and I can do it by percentage. So if I were to say 90% here, it's telling me that once I've reached $900 of my 1,000 total amount, that an email is going to be sent out to whoever is listed off here. And that person will be notified and says, hey, you've reached 90% of your budget and we're not at the end of the month yet. So you might want to do something about that. I can also do it with the forecasted cost. Maybe if the forecasted cost is saying, hey, you're going to reach 100% of your budget if you keep at the current pace that you're going at. So we may want to do something about that. We can specify certain languages that it's in, but I'm just going to close this because I already made this earlier, and this is similar to the one that I just made. I can always go here and I can edit the budget. So if I want to change it up, I just decided to call it this so that it gives a very self-explanatory name. Don't spend more than $1,000 each month. It resets at the end of each month, so when November 1st comes, the amount of money that I've spent for that month will go back to 0, and then only if I reach $1,000 for that month of November will this trigger. So this gives a trigger at 90%, which is $900, and I can use this as a way to stay informed about the money that I'm going to be spending.